Okay, cool. Yeah, it's going. Okay, Zach Nasser here with the Holistic Homemaker. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a simple 2-ingredient medium hold hair pomade that also doubles as beard oil. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to make your other hair products and that kind of thing, depending on what kind of hair you have and what kind of style you're going for. So what I have in my hair right now is just a medium hold hair pomade, and it's only 2 ingredients. So all I took was beeswax, now it just says easewax, and coconut oil. Now I got a gallon of refined coconut oil. This is cosmetic grade coconut oil that has been degummed, but you can use the same kind that you use for cooking. I just make soap out of that, so I have a gallon of it. You must really like coconut oil. I got a gallon. So yeah, that is the super simple basic recipe for this, and then I'm going to show you how you can trick it out and make it crazy. So what it comes out kind of looking like is this, and I made a bunch. You can make a smaller batch if you want. It kind of looks like icing or something, but it has a really nice smooth texture, and you only need a little tiny bit. About a half a pea to a pea-sized amount is what I put in my hair. And see, when you melt them together, it's no longer hard like beeswax. I mean, you listen to this stuff. This beeswax, it's hard as a rock. The coconut oil is really oily and gooey, and when you put it together like this, you get a really nice texture, like a pomade. It's not quite a high hold gel. I'm going to put some on my beard. And hell, I'll put a little bit more in my hair. Give it a little more shine, a little more body, a little more volume. Yeah. So before you can kind of see how it's changing the texture. Before it looked like my hair was just kind of poofy. Now it looks like I actually have a product in there. Because you'll get a little bit of the shine and the moisturizing from the coconut oil. It also acts like a leave-in conditioner. Same thing with the beeswax. The beeswax will actually hold moisture into your hair. So I like to use a little bit. I used half a pea to a pea size before, and you can totally see a change now that I did like an extra sort of half a pea in there. So there's a couple ways you can make this. I just use this pan right here, a little pot. Okay, just a little tiny pot. You can also do a double boiler. If you don't have a double boiler, you can put a smaller pot like this inside of a bigger pot filled with water, and that's how you make a double boiler. If you don't use a double boiler, you just have to keep an eye on it at low to medium low heat. Like if your thing has numbers, I had it on about 3, just because beeswax takes a little bit to melt. So on a super simple level, all I did was a 1/4 cup of the beeswax, and if you can find the pastilles, I highly recommend that. I'm going to put product links to Amazon on there for this tutorial, so you just know exactly what to get. And then a half a cup, or 2 of these, half a cup of coconut oil. So the coconut oil is going to mix really quickly, going to melt really quickly, and then it's going to take a little bit of stirring to melt your beeswax. But that's what gives it this really nice texture. It's what makes it not melt so easily, because the beeswax melts at a lot higher temperature than the coconut oil. Now, so that's it. That's all you really need. It kind of smells like coconut and honey. If you've never smelled beeswax, it kind of has a honey-like smell to it. Yeah, like a beeswax candle. So, because this doesn't have any water in it, it's not going to spoil. Oil doesn't spoil. It will eventually go rancid, and what that means is the antioxidants oxidize. The antioxidants break down. So I used 10 drops of this natural vitamin E liquid. There's about 303% of the RDA in there in about 6 drops. Or 91 I use in 6 drops. I put 10 drops in there. This is just going to preserve the antioxidants. Not necessary, it's optional, but it's a great way to preserve your oil-based products. You could also use rosmarinic acid from rosemary, and I'm going to have the recipe of all this stuff below. And now the really fun part, in my opinion, is where I like to trick it out. I did cypress and grapefruit. And if you're not familiar, grapefruit is very fruity and citrusy. Cypress is very piney. So that's what I did. I really like the citrusy ones. I also really like the piney ones. I'm going to give you a lot of different combos that you can do. But basically, if you want to make your own combos, like you can do 2 or 3. If you do 2, I recommend doing 1 that's kind of a higher, lighter, fruitier note, like the grapefruit in this case, and then the cypress is kind of the deeper, pinier, earthier note. So like another example, the lighter one, lemon oil, really light, really fruity and citrusy, and vetiver oil, which is really earthy and smoky. This is a really great combo, and you're going to do between 20 and 40 drops. And now, bear in mind, this is a lot of stuff. This is about like a cup and a half of hair pomade that's going to last me a long time. And since I did such a big batch, that's why I did the preservative, the vitamin E. Again, it's not necessary. If it was a water-based product, you would absolutely need to put a preservative in there to keep it good, because water, it's going to spoil. But the oil ones, not so much. But it is going to preserve the antioxidants, like those from the essential oils. So some people like to do lavender and tea tree. I'm not crazy about it, and I will put the links to my website if you want to buy these essential oils. But I'm kind of making all these essential oil essentials classes general, that anyone from any essential oils, even the stuff that you buy at the store, which I don't really recommend for a lot of different reasons I won't get into, but even if you buy those oils, you can just use this pure content to like make stuff in your house. You can be more sustainable, you can be more natural, not contribute to all the chemicals and bull stuff that we put all over ourselves and into the planet by proxy. Another great one, cinnamony, is that spicy high note. This is cinnamon essential oil and patchouli essential oil. Those two together, really great. A lot of people don't like patchouli. It's really fruit or cinnamon in this case. I love them together. It almost has like a dragon's blood kind of smell, if you know that incense. Another crazy one that I just found out, ginger, super earthy, and then wintergreen essential oil. Just smells like just like the mint. Really great combo together. And this is just to give you ideas. Really, all of these, pretty much all of these, with the exception of like rosemary, lavender, are really aromatherapy benefits, because we like to smell good. Nobody likes to smell bad. Yeah, so there's a few oils that are really good for your hair, like rosemary, lavender, and a couple others. But the rest of these, I'm just kind of throwing out ideas for just good smell combos. And you can play with your own smell combinations. Orange and clove is another one I like. Clove is really earthy, and then the orange is a little bit more fruity. Kind of smells like mulling spice. But yeah, like what I said, my favorites that I've found so far are grapefruit-cypress, cinnamon patchouli, ginger and wintergreen, and the lemon and vetiver. Those were all so good. And yeah, so those are different ways that you can kind of trick this out. That's kind of optional. All you really need is the beeswax and the coconut oil, and you just melt it together. Now, if you want it to have more hold, you could do equal parts. Instead of a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup, which is a 1-to-2 ratio, you could do equal parts coconut oil and beeswax. And it's going to be a lot more of a higher hold. If you don't want any kind of a hold, so that's going more to more stiff, spiky hair. If you want it to go the other way, like when my hair is really long, it's very curly. And so I like to do things like almond oil, sweet almond oil, which has vitamin E in it naturally. And then I'll add a little bit of argan oil or jojoba oil as kind of a anti-frizz, pro conditioning, like leave-in conditioning kind of thing. And that would be a liquid. And you can do, different kind of oils like patchouli if you want it to be more heavy, or tea tree if you want your hair to stay a little more dry. I'll get more into that later. But this is kind of a great medium hold pomade. But you can also go, more on the beeswax side or less on the beeswax side if you want it to be a little heavier or lighter. Although if you do have like really long hair or really fine hair, I would go with much lighter oils and probably no beeswax at all. If you're a vegan, you can use candelilla wax instead of beeswax, unless you're a vegan. You are okay with that. But yeah, so there are plant-based waxes that you can do the same thing with this. Yeah, and so I'll have the recipe below and the Amazon links where you can get this, and also my links if you want to get these kinds of essential oils. But the reason I did single essential oils is so you could use any kind of essential oils, period. Yeah, so I'll be coming at you with several more recipes here in my bathroom, or as I like to call it, my laboratory. But for now, signing off. Leave me any questions in the comments. There's a lot of other oils and stuff that I like to use. I like to get alchemical with this stuff. So yeah, subscribe to my channel, or like my Facebook page, or go to my blog and subscribe to get more updates like this, more recipes, more things you can do around the house and crafts like that, and also, general life hacks, making your life better kind of stuff. So thanks for watching. I love you guys. See you next time.